What is up, comic book fans? Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on the Local Comic Podcast. This is a little bit of a public service announcement that what you're getting ready to watch does and will contain spoilers. We are talking about new releases. We are talking about books that have not been out very long, probably. And so, if you are reading any of these series that we're talking about, they'll be listed in the description below. And you do not want spoilers, if you're not caught up, just give us a pause, go read that book, and come back and hang out with us. Otherwise, buckle up and let's talk some comics. What is up, comic book fans? Thank you so much for coming back and joining us on the Local Comic Podcast. We are back, finally, after a 2-week hiatus, thanks to holidays and busy stuff and just craziness. We are back, and we have 3 books today for you, because after all, this is the Absolute Show, so we're going to cover the Absolute Universe, and we've got some pretty cool books to cover. But before we get into that, let's talk to my guy, Mr. Phil, aka Mr. Rebel Recess. What's up, buddy? I like your hat.
Well, of course. We're waiting until Tuesday. The storm is coming Tuesday, baby. It's Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Thursday, 7 o'clock. Saturday,
There
TBA.
you
Monday,
got it
TBA.
We don't even have to go past game 4.
Go
Go ahead and blame Pollen too for the hiatus, because my gosh, it just gets worse every week.
I'm getting better.
I'm actually good right now, though, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But yesterday, I was dying. It moved. It was all in my throat, and now it's moved to my eyes, and they're just itchy. I can't get it out of me. Can't get it out of me. But
That's
other than
brutal.
pollen, I've been great.
Good. How can you not? Your team won a playoff series. That's always a good thing.
Well, we always win the first one. We win the
That
second
hurts. Don't say that.
one. We win the second one.
Oh man, well that's awesome, dude. Any good gets this week? Just to let everybody know, it is the April. My God, it's May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day.
Yes, of course. Lincoln is going to get to watch Return of the Jedi tonight for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm
All
excited
right.
for that.
Okay.
Playing a little Fortnite Star Wars too, since you're mentioning that. That's also a thing. So if you're in the Fortnite and Star Wars, go do it.
So are you going to be streaming it at all?
I have been. Yeah, I did a little bit yesterday. Got to stream in, try to knock out all the challenges. I gotta get this Palpatine. He's the main thing. They got Grievous next 2 weeks. I think he's coming. It's Star Wars. I gotta get everything. I just gotta get it all.
Nice. That's awesome. I don't blame you. I also want to give a shout out. Even though it is Star Wars Day, we need to also honor another classic movie franchise that was born on today, and it is The Mummy. Made its grand premiere on.
Emotep. We're doing that at SmackDown.
We got to walking out. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the Emotep chant. The Mummy debuted on May the 4th in 1999.
This is such a great weekend. We got May 4th. We got Revenge of the 5th tomorrow. You just mentioned Mummy. We had Free Comic Book Day Saturday. So you mentioned what I get. So I got all the books of Free Comic Book Day. That was fun. I did it twice. I cheated. I went once with myself and then back with my son after his baseball game. It's a great weekend. The first weekend of May is fantastic.
It is. It's awesome. It's always fun. We took my son. We're actually in the process of building him out a fish tank right now, and so there's been a lot of fish tank related things this weekend. But we also went to the comic book store close to it, not super close to us, but a really good one. And I know you've been there. We're gonna give him a little free pub here, but Parker Banner, Kent and Wayne, really cool name for a comic book store, and it sounds like a law office, but cool store. And we went down there. I like to go there for Free Comic Book Day. They always do a really good job there, and it's really organized. And disorganized Free Comic Book Day can be a headache. You know this as well as I do. If it's just a mad scramble, it makes you not want to go.
I just don't get it, and it's so inconsistent. Like I told you, like my shop did not have a lot of people, and so I'm the idiot who gets there 3 hours early, because when they do have a lot of people, I don't want to wait in line forever. And then I didn't know what deals and stuff they were doing, so I got there way earlier than I needed to. But whatever, I got through the line quicker than everyone else.
Yeah, we
And then
got.
next, go
Go ahead.
ahead. There you go.
I was gonna say we got there late and there was nobody there, but there was every book.
There's always enough books. What am I
Yeah,
worried for? I don't know why
yeah.
I'm worried. Well, the second time I did go back out, the shop we did go to, they didn't have any more Post Malone books.
I didn't get the Post Malone book. That's the one I didn't get.
They
Yeah,
didn't have a lot at the first spot I went to, so I'm glad
yeah.
so I guess that was the
I'm
perk of
gonna
going
have to.
early.
I'm gonna say I have to see if I can get one ordered.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just pay the shipping. Um, so yeah, so we went there. We got that. That was my highlight of my son's day. He was super excited about it. Some cool kids books. Was very unfortunate that all the copies of Black Mirror had ticks in them, so that hurt.
Oh, look, hey, if someone, whoa, so I'm not putting anyone on blast, but I cringed because they were bringing the comic books out at my first stop, and it's the shop I go to the most. I won't say their name. They dropped the books. They dropped one of the long
Oh,
boxes of books, and I was just like,
oh.
"Oh, don't do it." I don't even know what book it was. I looked away because I didn't want to know. It was one of those like, "It's better I don't know." So I don't even know which one it was. Every book I got though was pretty in good shape. So
I was really happy. I like when stores do this when they have a decent amount of back stock left over from last year's free comic book day. They'll put them back out.
hmm,
I love that. um, and because some of them like the Marvel Ultimates book that came out last year is kind of a big deal. It was like I believe it's the first appearance of the new Ultimate Spider-Man, and they had a stack of them from last year, and they just threw them back out there. And I was
that's
like,
awesome.
that's awesome. That book is not free anymore. Not if you want it. So pretty cool. And I got it grabbed the Energon special from last year. I think I got it last year, but I can't remember. So I grabbed that one too. I like the Energon Universe specials. They come out every year. They're really cool. Um, so yeah, so it was a good time. I went to Free Comic Book Day and it wasn't all free, and so I caught up on some. They didn't. The store actually was sold out of Absolute Books. So good job, anybody that listens to this show. Keep doing that. Because the more you do that, the more good stuff we get, and the longer we keep this show going. But they had none on the shelf, which was great, but not great for me because I did have to go and grab one at a different store, and so but that's okay. I got it. I got what we needed, and it was all good. Um, but yeah, so I ended up picking up a bunch of stuff I don't have on my pull list. So I got Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. I got this Green Lantern Dark series I had no idea existed. There's a Green Lantern Dark series that is an Elseworlds story in DC right now, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And then I picked it up and found out that Werther de la Dera is doing the art. That's the guy who does Something's Killing the Children, and I was like, "Yo, all right, I'm in." So they had all four issues, and so I grabbed them, and it was worth it. I haven't read them yet, but it looks really cool, so I'm excited about that. But other than that, not much. Anything.
Well, in our hiatus, I did get, like I mentioned, they finally came in the brand new day, first book, brand new day, and then the
Yeah.
first appearance of Mr. Negative. I got that. That's the only thing out of the rotation, not weekly things or whatever. I did get my first Mark Spears book this week,
Oh
thanks to
yeah. What an
Yu-Gi-Oh!
exciting time.
Homage. What else did I get this
Did you
week?
get the
Oh,
free Mark Spears book?
yes, I got that one. I did.
Good.
So it's my second one. There we go. I got
Ah.
two in 1 week. And then we had that Spider-Man Godzilla this week. So I got the third cover now of Godzilla versus whoever. There was the Thing, the Hulk, now Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Pick that up, and then I think of what else there was. There's a bunch of Godzilla stuff recently. So I got another Godzilla book, the LA Stories.
Mm-hmm.
The last few weeks been some good books.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. I don't know if I've gotten this stuff since we did the last show, but this
Hmm.
right there came in. That's a Star Trek Deep Space Nine signed by Renee Auberjonois. Auberjonois. I think that's it. Auberjonois. I'm starting to get it.
Sounds
I
like a good drink.
I need to ask my Quebec friends and find out if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. All right, and then a little bit further up, right there, We got the that one book we were all talking about a couple episodes ago, the Avery Brooks Captain Sisko signed Deep Space Nine book, and so it's going on the Star Trek wall along with all of these other beautiful,
And when he
beautiful
runs out of
books.
room, guys, he's gonna cut the floor out and go
That's
below
right.
the door as well. There's gonna
That's
make
right.
room for that.
That's right. There's going to be a subfloor camera
Yeah.
that's going to be able to show you the rest of it. I had to move Spock. We've done some reorganizing here, as you can tell. I'm in a little bit of a different angle. I had to move Spock. Uh, put some big boy books up above the door here. That was fun. And this is where Spock is not. This is not Spock's permanent home. He moves around a lot, but his family moves around a lot. It's Sorry, man. It's like the one that's the one Bob's Burgers episode that's burned into my brain forever. But this is actually where all of the swamp things, which you can see are right, this leaning up against the wall right there. This is where all the swamp things that I've been searching for are going to eventually go. They just haven't got there yet. I just want to do it all at one time. But for right now, Mr. Spock is going to hang out in that spot and still be a very visible on the camera. I'm gonna have to move him eventually. Maybe I'll put him right here. I'm gonna put him right here under the TV, just so we can still see him on
We'll
camera,
still see him.
or flat on the back of the door. That would be cool too. But anyway, so that's all we've been doing. Not a whole lot of anything, just kind of hanging out. And I did. I have been shopping for more swampies. So those.
Who would have thunk it?
I'm being patient. I'm waiting for the deal. I'm waiting for the deal. But once the deal comes, I will pull the trigger, and we'll be good. So, with that, I'm done. Are you done?
Yeah, let's get to these books, man.
Let's get to these books. We got 3 books today because we skipped 2 weeks.
Is this the Trinity?
Dude, all I'm going to say is before we get into any of these, okay, we got Absolute Flash, we got Absolute Wonder Woman, we got Absolute Martian Manhunter. All 3 of these books were bonkers, but your 2 books were...
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I loved both of them. Did you like Flash better?
I think I like the Flash better than my 2. Yeah, maybe I'm just because I'm salty about it. I'm just automatically saying it's the best book ever.
The worst draft ever. The draft is going to basically ruin every year of this show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's get into the. Let me find my little fun here. Let's get into the rundown. Oh, I'm getting it now.
Something.
What?
It's perfect timing. Oh God!
Right after I say I'm getting it now, I forgot to turn it off. It just loops. It just loops.
You need one more. That's a hat trick.
Don't say hat trick. Not with the Miko ranting and bull crap that happened last night.
Went all. I knew you would hate on it, but I mean, he's good. He was good.
Yeah, good and terrible.
He advanced.
He's a baby. All right.
A lot of good things in that game, but anyways, we'll move on. Check Twitter, people. You'll see what I mean.
All right. Well, we do have 3 books, like I said, and I did already mention that it's The Flash, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter. So before, I know that Phil is suffering from his allergies, and I know that long-winded conversations are probably not going to be good on him. So I made sure that his books are back-to-back today. So I'm going to go first.
Fantastic.
And we're going to talk about Absolute Flash number 2. Can I say that this cover is absolute fire? I love it.
I think I looked at it 100 times before I realized his face in the background.
Are you saying really?
Yes, it just didn't pick out to me. Then I was like, wait a minute, that's his face there.
And you fell out of your chair.
I don't know what's wrong with me. A lot of things. It's the pollen.
It's the pollen. You can't even look at pictures the same way. No, this is I absolutely love this cover. This is so good. And this issue was also very good. So we pick up immediately at the end of the first book, and we get old Barry Allen, old crucial Barry Allen.
So good.
Yeah. It starts out in present time. We're back to Wally crying over Barry Allen. But kind of weird. Kind of weird. Some weird stuff here. But he said he's gonna come after you, Dad. But But anyway, so he thinks his dad's coming after him, and then it's actually just Captain Boomerang. Thank you so much for bringing him in so early. I love this character. Um, and basically, it's the four Trickster, Captain Boomerang, Golden Glider, and Captain Cold um, chasing down Wally into this cave. They're trying to seal off the exits and flush him out. And it's pretty interesting. They're trying to trap him, and he calls Cold calls out to Glider, or should I say, Omni Man calls out to Glider, and says, hey, he's coming out, and Glider says he'll be ready, but Trickster the whole time is saying like, yo, something ain't right. I don't like this. Something's weird. Um, and what happens is they finally find him, and he starts to run away. And as he runs away, he just says, I just want to go home. I just want to take it all back. I didn't mean to do it. It all happened so fast. And as he's running out, the only exit they left for him, he says, so fast. And kicks into flash mode. And it's really cool because it seems like, I think we mentioned this before, he doesn't really have control. He's not, this is not something that he can keep under any kind of control. It's similar to the way Hal is with the Black Hand stuff and the Green Lantern. He's not really in control of it in any way, shape, or form. It's actually in total control of him for the most part. So it's pretty interesting to see how I'm assuming it's the Speed Force. I don't know if that's what they're going to call it. We haven't heard anything about it yet. But it's interesting to see how it kind of envelops him, and then he kind of turns, it's turns red and kind of starts to speed around. I do love Glider saying like, this kid is. Well, I don't know what this kid is. It's like, it was pretty good. But Wally talks about he's feeling like he's bursting apart, and if he doesn't keep moving, he's going to explode. And that's something we've heard similarly with Flash before. Like, you got to keep moving, got to keep moving, got to keep moving. But they do corner him, and when he gets cornered, he gets really amped up and says, leave me alone. And when he does, there's this massive burst of energy, and it knocks away all the boomerangs, everything else.
Dr. Manhattan style.
It is very much that, and it's crazy because as soon as it happens, it does a flashback to when he's caught in what I'm just going to call it the Speed Force. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know what else it could be. Fast stuff.
I mean, I think that's what we're familiar with. So
yeah, it's the only thing I can do until they tell me something different. That's the only way I can go about it, or maybe I'm a moron. But anyway, so we're getting, he's caught in this, and he looks like his like past, present, and future self are like separating and recombining on this picture. Which, dude, Nick Robles. This is some busy artwork. Like, I'm not in a bad way though. Like, I'm just saying, like, to be able to like do this and make it comprehensible is crazy. These are wild panels. But they're really cool. But he's screaming for it flashes back to when he's with Barry and he gets caught up in the Speed Force, and he's screaming, and Barry's saying, take my hand, and then all of a sudden he disappears to God knows where. Then Wally's dad shows up, asks Barry what he did, and he said, I didn't mean to, and then Rudy just starts beating the holy hell out of Barry Allen, and yeah, that's probably what it sounded like when he was barking at him. He was like, what did he do?
Dog saw something.
So he beats the crap out of Barry, like really beats the crap out of him, and then Wally reanimates, very similar to the way Dr. Manhattan reanimates. I don't know if you got that, but you already said it once, but like when he reanimates,
vibes all over this.
Yeah, when he reanimates, he looks very similar to that Dr. Manhattan thing, and yeah, it's like that iconic panel from Watchmen. He says, Dad, Rudy says it's going to be okay, and then he finally comes out of the Speed Force and shows back up, and Barry grabs him and screams, "Stay with us, stay here," and he can't. because he explodes again. And I don't know if this is where he killed Barry. If he killed Barry, Barry's dead, but I don't know if it was because of this. Um,
But is Barry dead?
he looked dead as hell in that
And
first panel.
that panel, but not when the. I mean, he's alive in the other panel.
But that was then. This is now.
Yeah, but again, they could change time. Like I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like there could
Yeah.
be something else going
It's
on.
yeah. Well, they say Barry was important.
I thought he wasn't going to show up again. He showed up immediately after this. So I don't think Barry's gone, baby. I think Barry's
Oh.
still alive.
So he flashes back to now, and so what it seems is happening is he is time jumping in either in his head or in his physical form or whatever. He is time jumping, and so it goes back and he says, "Barry, Dad," like he can't keep his head straight. And Trickster is standing over there, put these force fields up all around everybody, and it was pretty funny. But they dropped one around him, and he says, "Let me out," and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, we'll let you out as soon as we get you back to Fort Fox, when they're going to rip you wide open." Um, and as soon as he did that, his little flash logo popped up in his eye, which I thought was really cool. And he busted out of that force field like it was nothing. Ran away from Glider, and kept running fast. And this is where I kind of got that back and forth thing. He talks about being here, but also back in Barry's lab. He's with his dad, but he's also when he's 3 years old with his dad and his mom, and they went out for the
More
best day ever.
more Manhattan stuff. Like it was
Yeah,
just all
yeah.
I'm here,
He
I'm there.
Yeah.
It's
And if that's where they're going with this, holy moly, this is kind of a cool take,
I love
like
it. It's so good.
it feels sort of like that, and that's kind of a cool take. Like he's everywhere at once. Um, I'm forward and I see what's coming. He sees himself as a hero, um, but then he also sees himself as some kind of a monster as well. I see tomorrow, no, two tomorrows, two worlds.
Dramatic long pause.
Am I a hero or am I a monster? This is such a cool book. It's so cool. But he falls out. He says, "What happens? What am I becoming?" And he's just laying there. And we were right. We were right.
Were
We
we? Because
called it.
I thought I backed out of it.
You did. I didn't. So maybe I
Okay,
was
you
right.
were
I'll
right.
take the
I
win
think I
here.
might have backed out of
I
it.
tried to give you a little credit here, but Omni Man says, "All right, I've had enough. Let's let the freak show out." And they're like, "You sure you want to do this?" And they open it up. He's got these evil looking eyes, and like, "Oh my god, what is it?" And then it's cute ass Gorilla Grodd with his brain sticking out, and just this this is gonna be so much fun. Ah, this is so good. That was such a great last panel. So we see Gorilla Grodd come out of this containment unit, and he just says,
They didn't call it
"Eek."
gorilla. They called it Grodd, right?
"Oh yeah, Grodd,
That
whatever.
ain't
Yeah,
no
it's Grodd.
gorilla. That's
Yeah,
that's that's that's
the
ferret Grodd.
all right, Ferret Grodd. Yeah, yeah. This is Caesar. This is Caesar Grodd.
Oh
This
my
is
goodness.
Caesar
Ape
Grodd.
strong together.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. So that's the end of it. We get the reveal of Absolute Grodd. He's a little tiny green monkey with bloodshot eyes and a visible brain, and we did show his picture briefly on a previous
Very
slide.
blue. Very
Very
blue.
blue. He's very cool. I'm excited about it. All of the the promo materials that we'd seen coming up here kind of looks like they're not enemies right now.
Right.
So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I think this can be fun.
We can have like a how you train your dragon moment, something like
As long as he's not as annoying as Jay Baruchel, I'm fine.
that.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah. So that's it, man. Like that's the issue. So fun issue. I think we covered everything pretty quickly. Um, I this was great. So because the first issue, I felt like it was a lot for me to absorb, especially as someone who didn't read a ton of Flash growing up. It was a lot for me to absorb to try and pick through everything. Like I loved Captain Cold, right? And I had always like loved stories that incorporated him. But I I wasn't super versed on a lot of the Flash kind of backstory and stuff. I had really started reading Flash kind of around Flashpoint and that kind of stuff. So I didn't really read a lot of it when I was a kid. And so issue one was a little bit of a tougher for me to kind of absorb everything. This one felt more straight line, and it was easier for me to enjoy, but also brought up a lot of really good questions. Like you mentioned the Dr. Manhattan thing, it really feels like that. And then, Two Worlds.
Like long
Yep,
pause.
yep. So I'm excited about this. This is great. We did joke that it felt like Flash might be the link between worlds.
Barry's not dead.
Barry's not dead. He's coming back. It's the most. This would be the most. Because everybody knows how much everybody loves Wally, and so many people hate Barry Allen. It would be so great if they were just like, yeah. We thought we were giving you a Wally West story. Surprise, Barry's back,
He
and it's
won't go
only about
away.
Barry. Just
Instead of Barry trying to save his mother, we get Wally trying to save Barry the whole time. So you're gonna get all the
they're,
Barry you need.
they're gonna make you love Barry Allen.
That's the approach. You don't get rid of something that's not great. You make that thing great, and we're gonna do that.
Oh man. So yeah, overall I loved it. I give it a 4. We always give high grades here. We don't really crap on anything here, but they're all good. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I give it a 4. Solid book. A lot of fun. Neat ideas, and got a lot of love for our friend Mr. Grodd there at the end. I'm excited about that. So
When they showed the eyes, I was like, oh, it's gonna be actually a gorilla, and then it turned out to be that thing, and I was like, oh, okay, kind of talked about it, whatever.
it
So they
sucks when
didn't.
you figure it out, doesn't it?
Yes, I don't know. I
Kind of
want them to be
ruins the payoff.
pals. I like them being pals.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
That's a neat. Change him a little bit, make him a little more. I don't know, sidekicky.
You Grogu them. You make them like cute, like Grogu, and then you use all this murder. You'll be wanting a movie after. It's a little different. That's what they're doing. Taking the Star Wars approach.
Oh man, well that's good. So, what do you think? What were your
Good.
thoughts?
I give it a 4. It's a fun book. Pretty straightforward. Continues what we just went through in the first one. Gave us Barry back for a second. Yeah. I mean, it's and you get a
Barry's
little
not dead.
more. Barry's not dead, and you get a little more of like, yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. He's figuring it out, and like at the same, we're figuring it out too. So it's just cool to be like on the journey with them. So
Yep, yep. It feels like a lot of times we get the same origin story all the time, right? But this one certainly feels like a little bit more of a fresh take. And I mean that with any character. We always seem to get the same origin story more or less. So this feels like a fresh take, and that's what they're going for because that's the way it's been in Batman too, and Superman, and God, Wonder Woman. Yeah, this tracks. It's been really good. I love the art, and I'm a fan. Jeff Lemire's doing a great job so far. So yeah, that's all I
agreed.
got. Good book. Good book. So now, hope you've been drinking your water, big dog, because you got two
Me
back to
too.
back, and you don't even know what the first one is because I didn't send you the slides. This is great. Let's see. Let's see how good you are today. Let's see. Let's see. What is it? Which one's the first one?
I'm just gonna go Manhunter.
Oh,
Hey, God, I love that
so
shot.
I do too. I said our possessed detective attempts to stop a mass shooter while also coming to grips with his new reality and a bit of a sassy alien. And I don't know about you, but Mr. Alien was sassy as hell in this.
Sassy. And coming off the last book, I feel like I was just super confused. It was too much at once. For whatever reason, this one was a lot easier to digest. I
Yep.
feel like so. I need to go back and reread the first one now and see if it does a little better.
Yep.
But yeah, so let's get started. So I love how this book starts out because somebody just got whacked while watching Whammy. Because they were like big bucks on the TV screen. It just
No
first
whammies. No
shot.
whammies.
Everything's red. You see two people on the couch. They just got blasted. Yeah, so that's how the book starts out. I like when we just get a great cold open. And then we see the supposed killer. He's standing, looking at like I would call it alien propaganda. There's some signs. There's an alien in the middle. We'll get back to that. Saying you're not wrong. Whatever. Just I mean, he ain't wrong, but aliens are out there. So I'm not even going to argue. I mean, I'm going to kill people for it, but sure, aliens are there. But whatever reason, he killed these two people before moving on to that.
This is actually just Mulder.
It's just an X-Files episode. And then we jump back to John, and I can't remember where we the first book where we left off, but we're just in the street now. He's arguing with the smoke. I'm calling it the smoke. He's smoking a cigarette's coming out of the cigarette, so it's just more smoke to me. And then the alien is giving him some rundown of some memories. They're having a little banter back and forth. John denies he's an alien, or even says a Martian. He's like, little green guys, we've been to Mars. They didn't find anything. But the little green guy that just keeps appearing everywhere explains he is an alien in the sense that he is not of this world. He's from far away. He says something like, so far away that the light of this earth won't even touch it before it's destroyed. Something like that. But John's just going back and forth. And then this is like, I think, my favorite part of the book. The alien becomes a baby in a stroller. The mommy's there, and he starts arguing with the alien, which is actually arguing with the baby compared to what everyone else sees. So the mom whacks him with her purse. I thought that was great. I could see that's something I'm doing if I'm crazy walking down the street and I see something. I could just see myself.
I love like the finger point and everything.
Yes, like I could just. See
Why are you here?
So that was very good. And so they're just arguing back and forth. What's going on? The alien basically says, we are one. We are both together. We're not separate. He says things over and over again, like, if it's in your head, it's happening. It's because John's trying to deny it. Those types of things. And then we go back to the killer. I think he's getting something. I can't remember the page where, but he's loading up or whatever. And the alien goes back. We go back to the alien and John. It goes back and forth. And he says humankind is under attack. And so, like, John's not really buying into this stuff. Like, what are you talking about? And then he tells them to, like, I can't remember what he tells them to do, but the next page is just John the smoke or whatever, can sense everyone's thoughts around him. And they're all negative. They're horrible.
They're bad.
Someone stabbed somebody. Someone did
stabs
this.
A dog.
Like, it's just all nothing good. No one's doing anything good. So then John just says he doesn't understand. But the Martian, the alien, says something like, well, this is a psychoplanetary collapse happening, is imminent because someone is interfering. And you don't understand yet, but your Martian vision is only beginning. So this whole Martian vision thing, like in the first book, we got to see through the light or whatever. So it's kind of in the story, but also to us. Can only lead you to assume that this is the very beginning stages. He's going to get better at this stuff. So he's going to know more. So we're at the very beginning of it. And then we see another memory. It's a good memory. I like this memory. John's a little boy peeking through a fence. And old Miss Donnelly is sunbathing out back. And you can see, and it says in the book, this ain't me, it says something about her golden thighs. And this is a missus. She's married, but the husband is not in the image. So that's another little memory they pop up. The memories, like at this point, were like sweet memories for John. They weren't like negative things for him.
Yeah, I wanted to point out earlier in the issue when he did it, it was because John was getting aggravated and angry, and he was like, calm down. And he just like flooded his memory with positive things. And I was like, this dude is in total control right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, so it's like more positive, calm things. It's not like negative things, especially with John and the life he's been living as a detective or whatever. I'm sure there's pretty dark stuff in there, but
then he superimposes himself on a mailbox.
Yeah. The alien's just popping around everywhere. Stop signs, everything. He's just
Madame Xanadu.
And so he's talking about that. He talks this Martian vision is only beginning. We have that memory, and then while they're having this conversation, he's like, "We have to get to etc. Street or whatever street because something's going to happen or whatever." And then finally, a shooting occurs. And then John gets a call from the cops, and they're like, "Hey, you're the closest one there." So the whole time, this alien's been right. There's something that was about to happen on Center Street. John was kind of not paying attention to it. He was right. So they're now on the way, and this is just an awesome. Like, it's like the picture you got. It just turned into a buddy cop moment. They hop in the car. The Martian says, "Let's ride, partner." Like, I'm all in for this. Like, this is so much fun. It's just so cool. So
he's got his feet on the dash.
He's got his feet on. He's chilling. Johnny, even makes a point, like, he's still clearly not fully there yet on what's going on, but it's like he's kind of coming to it a little bit. And then we go back to the killer, and the killer's talking about there's invaders, the aliens. He was looking at the alien stuff. He's clearly psycho. Maybe. Because John's running around with an alien. So is he really psycho or is he not psycho? So
John's not even sure if he's sane right now.
Yeah, so, I'm not shooting people watching Whammy, but my man's kind of right. There's some invaders coming to this planet. And so they get there, they approach the guy, and then just like a swimming pool, the Martian just dives into this dude's head and starts going through his memories or whatever. And he starts he's like doing recon. He starts feeding information to John. that John can use. So then the Martian brought up Toomas, a guy named Toomas, I think was the name, and then John's like, "Hey, I'm Toomas. His name's John, right? Well, I keep calling him just John, right?
It's John
Okay."
Jones.
For a moment, yeah, for a moment there, I was like, "Well, is his name John or not?" Anyway, so he feeds him the information, Toomas. So then he's like, "Hey, I'm Toomas," and then the guy's like, "Do I know you?" And he's like, "Yeah, we were." I guess it was a memory from being like first grade pals. And so he's using that to kind of slow down the guy because he's already shot some people. Some people are still alive. While all this is happening, it's kind of crazy. So he's feeding him that information. Then he's feeding him the memories of everyone else around him, what these people are about to die and what they're thinking. These people hurt, what they're thinking. That's a lot going on at once.
Mm-hmm.
While John is trying to calm this guy down. But then as he's trying to calm him down, Toomas ain't really buying it. Or I mean, he's Toomas, the killer. I forgot his name. Trigger Taylor or something. He called him
Yeah, it's Trigger something. His name's Trigger something.
Taylor, I think. He ain't buying it. He's like, you're pretending because I believe in these aliens. You ain't who you supposed to be. And while this is happening, the cops show up. And then so we know the cops already there. John's like, hey, I'm talking to him. He's trying to de-escalate. And then we go back to the Martian. He's like, I've discovered it. He's got some old wiring from culture, from TV, just stuff embedded in from him. I'm just
So
thinking,
cool.
well, it's all of us, man. We all watch this stuff growing up. I've got it now too. We've all been wired wrong. So he's basically saying he's got some kind of defect, which is why he's seeing this invasion thing take place. And so the Martian's like, hey, I'm going to disable it. Well, we can take care of it. And then Trigger or whatever, he starts having old memories. And it's like he's going through it too. So he's starting to see other things. He's coming out of what he was doing. And then it seems like we've probably figured it out. And then bang, dude gets blasted in the head by the cops because they were foolish. They shot him in the head. They got bad wiring too, apparently, because this thing was coming down. They shot him in the head. He's dead. There's nothing else you can do for that guy. And then it's over. John's back at the police station. The main whoever, well, not mayor, detective, whoever, the top guy's like, hey, you should just shot him, whatever.
Chief.
Yeah, chief. And then at that same time, Martian's telling him like, hey, I think I skipped something. There was a weird page. Yes, so there was a weird page I didn't understand, but we understand it next. There's a weird page where you see the guy in front or someone in front of the TV screen again, and you see that white alien in the original propaganda piece, and then you see something come out of it, and it's a little different. It's got a little different thing. So I'm like, what is this? And then we find out on the next page that Martian says, we have bad news. This is very bad. The white Martian has come to destroy humankind. So then it made sense. That thing that we saw come out of the TV or whatever infected that guy is basically coming to infect others. And that's where he said, if you go back to the part where he said all these negative thoughts and all these negative things are happening because we've had interference. And so now we know the White Martian is our main bad guy who's infiltrating John's jurisdiction world. Yeah. It's mind-boggling because it's a lot of mind stuff, which I just say it was easier to keep along with.
How great was the last panel? Do you remember the last panel?
What was the last? Oh, where he's laying in bed and he turns into the Martian. He's whatever, which is very unique because one of those memories that he had was his when he got engaged or whatever to her. Yep. But you know how like the last book, I'm like, bro, he don't care none about his family. He care none. But that is one of his happy memories.
Yep.
But then, and it's when his wife asks like, "How was the day?" and he's like, "Oh, the usual, whatever." So he does open up to her. He doesn't tell her anything, but it's almost, I don't know. He's an alien in his own world.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
there's that analysis.
Yeah,
there we
he's
go.
An alien in his own world.
I did love. Well, actually, before I say anything, let's get your rating. What'd you say? What you got on it?
I'm gonna go 3.5. I'm gonna put Flash at 4. I'm gonna do whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easier to follow for the most part, but still a lot of stuff. But I do love now that I know this is like buddy cop. Like they're gonna be. He's gonna learn how to use this, and they're gonna figure it out or whatever. I mean, there's obviously you got cops, you shoot people. There's gonna be some problems in the way, but he's gonna figure out how to master this, and it's gonna be really unique. It's completely different than the Martian Manhunter that I know. So like
that's why I said I still swear this is like Martian Manhunter and John Constantine had a baby.
Yeah, it's just so different. It's just not even relatable to the original character that I know.
Yep. So a couple things. I gave it a 4 as well. Well, you gave it a 3.5, but I gave it a 4 as well as Flash. I gave a 4. We kept talking about how it said Martian mind ****.
Yeah.
We found out it's a myriad of things. So when he's screaming at the baby, the little Martian baby, um, he says, "I, you, we are mine. Hunt, kill, save, redeem, heal," and then it just says dash er. Right. So mind hunter, mind killer, mind saver, mind redeemer, mind healer.
All of those are great except for kill.
Yeah.
So which means this Martian is capable of.
Yeah. And so when he went into Trigger's head, he was trying to heal him, and he did.
Right.
He rewired his brain to heal him, and then his brain got relocated.
You couldn't heal that bullet.
Yeah, yeah, not much you can do there. But he says it again later on when he goes when he walks by the Madame Xanadu's psychic reading, and looks in and sees the and I just don't get offended. I don't remember the name, but the lady with the multiple arms. Not you don't get offended, but anybody don't get offended. I just don't remember the lady's name with the multiple arms. But his head is on her body. And it says, inescapable conclusion, complete psychoplanetary collapse is imminent. Responsible entities must be hunt, kill, save, redeem, heal, ud. So ED, he changes it. Hunted, killed, saved, redeemed, healed. Um, one, all, maybe. One of, if not all of, those things. So I like, because they never really said what it was. Mind what,
Well, we
and
thought it was a cuss word. Well,
well,
I think I said it could. Well, I don't know what I said.
You said hunter.
Yeah, and you just said it's probably a cuss word. Effort.
Well,
I don't know. Might have been one of the things because that's why they bleeped it out. But yeah,
that's what this book is.
Yeah, right.
So,
I'm not disagreeing.
Tell me they're not aware.
So aware.
Yeah, but the art's fantastic. I liked. It was actually, it's a heavy book to read, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of gun violence, and that's something very prevalent in our society. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you continue. I was gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a heavy book to read. And I would imagine a lot of people.
Well, I think a lot of these. I mean, because the first one, the same. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of death with bullets.
Yeah, right.
Like
and so definitely something that might be tough for people. And I totally understand. The thing that I found that was really heavy about all of it, was as he's trying to talk Trigger down, he also is hearing folks who are either dead or dying, their last memories they were thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, this is heavy. Like, and this is a heavy. You try to put yourself in that situation, like this is a heavy thing to try to experience. And so like John's gonna have to have nerves of steel, but I think he's so overwhelmed he's not even thinking of it. I think he's just living it. Yeah, it's so cool, and the I love the images of the Martian, pouring around in his mind, surrounded by color, like he's just digging through, trying to find the problem, and it's just such a neat take on this character. It's absolutely unlike anything. It kind of shows. It kind of reimagines psychic ability. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen anybody I don't think I've ever seen kind of like psychic powers. Like, you think about like Jean Grey being able to get into people's head and stuff, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen it quite pictured quite like this. And it's really, really interesting and cool. And, I love it. It's just a cool take and a complete reimagining of this character, and I'm very glad they went this direction with it because it's a lot of fun. So, anything else you want to add on this one?
No, that's it. I feel like well, we don't know. I feel like this is going to be the theme of the books. You said there's only 12, right? Isn't that what we said? I think every book
is supposed to be 6.
I think every book is going to be an event, possibly, but each event he's going to fail at it, but like he's going to figure it out, working with the Martian, and then by the end, I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's kind of where we're going to get on it, and that's awesome. I'm excited about it, and hopefully it keeps up the pace because it's been a lot of fun. Long day. All right, let's go ahead and move on then, since we both gave our grades. Anything else you want to add on this one before we move to the next one?
Nah, negative.
Oh my god, I loved this next issue. We had Absolute Wonder Woman. Is this number 7 or 8?
7.
7. Absolute Wonder Woman number 7, and we finally get the another 2-issue arc similar to Batman, and we get some nice putting a bow on the Hades arc. I don't want to hear any trash talk about the art. It was perfect. It was absolute perfection for this, and I will not hear anything else.
Was it the same person from the last issue?
Yes.
But it was different, it felt like.
Because they were fighting, and it looked amazing.
It was different.
It was different. An absolutely epic end to the short Hades themed arc shows Diana mercifully winning a battle for her life while also pulling one over on old Big Blue. So great issue. I'm ready to jump into it, but after all, man, it's all yours. So let's go.
Absolute Wonder Woman number 7. So just like all these books, we start out somewhere. And where do we start out? Little Diana sees Persephone.
With a weird ass looking dog.
Don't hate on the animal.
He's got some crazy looking like ear tendrils or something.
It's the underworld, man. Who we all know is married to Hades, or I think we did, right? Well, we found in the book, but I always felt like she was married. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
so they keep with the mythology. She's married, so which makes her the queen of the underworld if he's the king, whatever. And she got a tree. She's like, "Hey, you come to see my tree?" And little Diana's like, "Sure." And she talks about the tree and how everything dies in the underworld, so she's got to keep up with the tree. Very short, and then they leave, and she's like, "Hey, have I ever told you the story about a kidnapping and some pomegranate seeds?" And then it ends. I mean, knock knock. That means it's gonna come back around. That's how this goes. So
If you know your mythology, this sounds familiar. If you don't, then you're about to find out.
yeah. So then we back jump to Diana back in Hades. They were just taken. She lost all her stuff. And she is fighting in his arena. And who was there? Of course, Hades is there, just like in Dune when they got the Harkonnen just up top watching. But also Persephone is there, and Persephone seems to be on her side. She makes like a joke. He says something about I should have banned magic, whatever. She's like, well, she's gonna beat her with one arm anyway. It's gonna make you look bad. So she's clearly a Diana supporter, whereas he is clearly not.
She's also fighting a chimera, which is pretty cool to see.
Yes. So it's a tiger.
Right? A tiger with a snake tail and
yeah.
and goat horns,
which is going to be more of the story as well. So a tiger. And then so this book, I'm just going to call it out right now. This kind of book bothered me. I'm sorry. We jumped back and forth every page. Every page. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie, but changed every frame. Like it's just we were one place and the next place. Luckily, it was just 2 places. But we were jumping back and forth. So if you get annoyed with me saying it, well, that's what the book did. Then she starts praying to Hecate, however we want to say it, to get Diana out of hell. She's like, what am I going to do when the time comes? How do I get her out? And then Hecate says, there are 2 ways out. One way, don't worry about the second way. Don't worry about it anyway. It's been prepared for you. You don't need to worry about it. And then the book, I don't know where the book came from. She just had a book in her hand the next panel. I don't know if it was left.
It came out of the fire.
Okay, it came out of the fire. So she gets the book. She opens the book, and the book is The Lady and the Tiger. And we just saw Diana fighting a tiger. Kind of. It's got other stuff going on. So then we jump back, and then Hades tells Persephone she basically has too much faith in Diana. You've misjudged her. She's going to lose, basically, whatever. And, of course, Persephone doesn't believe that. We don't believe it. It's Diana. So, Hades, be quiet. And then what do? We go right back to young Diana. Dude, I'm telling you, it happens every page. It was crazy. So we go back to young Diana, and she's being told the story of the Lady and the Tiger. And then so the story of the Lady Tiger is there was this princess. She fell in love with a man who wasn't a prince. So then the king got upset. Then he threw him in the arena. So he had to make a choice between 2 doors. One door was the tiger. The tiger would kill him if he opened it. Or the other door was his lover. A lover, a woman that could spend the rest of his life together. But it wasn't the princess. So then the princess was like going to go to him and tell him where to go because she doesn't want him to die. Like, hey, whatever. But then she's like, hey, I'm just with this woman. I don't get to be with you. Why does she get to be with you? Whatever. And then we see that the story goes, and then we see that she does meet him before he has to go, and she does tell him something. She tips him off. But we don't know what which way, which door, which way she is choosing. And so little Diana, like all of us, is upset because we want to know, did the lady just say, "Bump, if I can't have him, no one can," or did she like, "Hey, I love him so much, I'm gonna let him go and be married with someone else"? So Diana's upset. I'm upset. And then what do? We go right back to the fight,
Diana's
and
upset. I'm upset.
we're all upset. And then we're back at the fight, and Hades and Persephone are talking again. And they're just having banter back and forth during this fight. Like, what's the purpose of this fight? What's going on? And she's talking about this as an appetizer for the next fight. And I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna get a bunch of fights. This is like old gladiator days, just one after another. And then what do? We go back to little Diana, and she's with Cersei, and they're dissecting the story because Diana wants to know. She starts asking these questions. The woman's selfish. She'd rather him be dead than to be alive with someone else. And this is going back and forth. Cersei's saying maybe the story isn't about what you think it is. Whatever. She's still just. It seems like Cersei knows the deal, but she's still waiting for Diana to learn it. And Diana's still a little younger at this point. And then at that point, what do? We go back to the fight, and Cersei is fighting the tiger. And this threw me off because then Diana calls the tiger sister. Did I miss something? When did it become her sister?
It's that's her like kinship to living
Oh,
creatures.
okay.
It's a girl, so she calls it
Right.
sister.
So
right?
she called it a sister. Like, hey, back down. I
Dude,
don't want
time
to
out. Time out. This is what I was talking about. This is why the art works so well for these fight scenes. It looks like a TV show.
Yes.
It looks like a TV show on a page. It looks fantastic. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, good. The art is great. It is very good. From little Diana to big Diana. So she says sorry to the tiger because I'm gonna have to defeat you because I ain't gonna die. And then we go back to Cersei, but this time it's not little Diana. She's much older. She's almost to the point where she is now, I would say. And then she's working, she's chopping something, and then at the final panel of the page, she's like, "I am not the princess." So it's like she's realizing what's happening in the story more as she's gotten older. She realizes she's not the person who is going to make someone choose the two doors, basically. Then we go back to the arena, and Diana has won, and it's like typical gladiator fashion. She's won. She's telling Hades, "I don't want to kill her." The tiger, her sister. Can we just let it end? And Hades like, "Nope, you got to kill her. You just got to do it." So what does she do? She kills the tiger, and then after she kills the tiger, she prays to goddess Themis, and asks for great power and strength. And as she does this, there's a little shot. You can see her eyes turn red a little bit, and then she calls out Hades, says he's something or whatever.
You're a warden of a you're not a god. You're not a lord. You're a warden of a prison. That's it.
Warden of a prison, and then he jumps up and goes, "You dare!" And then this is the coolest shot. Her eyes are red and they're beaming out, or whatever. And she goes, in Han Solo fashion, "I do." So she does dare. And then she
keeps talking
up.
that trash.
Getting OP. She's raising up, and she's
she
like,
called him an errand boy.
An errand boy, and this is injustice to have me kept here. You're nothing, basically. And that you have a reckoning coming for you, but it is not your time yet. I mean, just go and kill him. But she doesn't want to. She's like, it's not your time yet. And then she says, we still have a game of two doors. And I didn't know. I mean, I know we were reading the story, but I didn't realize Hades had set up the two doors for herself. But clearly she knew. So there was two doors. She opens the door. So before she opens the door, she's like, you get your freedom or your death. And if you get your freedom, then you lose your mother. It's just you catch 22.
She's stuck here forever. You can never come back.
Right. So it's it's like the princess. It ain't a good choice either way. So she opens the door, and it turns out she opens the door of freedom. But as Diana, she's not gonna leave her mother. So she goes back to Cersei.
Well, her mother shows her what door it is.
Yes.
She gives her one of these.
Yes. So she goes back to her mother. Cersei was the princess in the story. She goes back to her mother. She breaks the chain. Hades like, how are you doing this? You can't do this. You picked your door. You'll never see her again. And then,
she says about that.
She just goes on. She's like, your wife gave me some pomegranate seeds, and it's something to the effect of every year you can come back for a month since you've been taking these seeds, and unless Hades, you want to change that standard or whatever, that she gets to do what she's doing right now, which is breaking Cersei free.
Yep. So basically, the way the pomegranate seeds work, for every seed that you eat, you have to spend 1 month per year in the underworld, and Persephone ate a bunch of them, so she was, I believe she was basically kidnapped by Hades and then tempted to eat these things, and she did, and now she's permanently trapped as his bride. So that's why it was a neat thing when she was like, "Unless you want to change the rules,
Right, because she would
because
be
then
able
I'm
to.
out."
Yeah, she would be able to dip herself.
Deuces. Um,
Um,
yeah,
and then after she released Cersei, we know her mother's not gonna be stuck there. She'll get to see her again. Um, she goes to Persephone. Diana thanks her. I owe you a great debt. And then Persephone response says, "Come back with this great reckoning you speak of, and your debt will be paid in full." So we're gonna come back around to that, I hope. And then Diana and Cersei reunite, but they can't. She can't stay because she's like, if she touches, she has to stay for a month. And clearly, she wants to get back to her
can't do
man.
that now.
Yeah, she's trying to get back to her boy. So she's like, I ain't miss him for a month. So she's like, goodbye. And then tells her mother, hey, we beat the Tetracide. I did it by using your lasso. It saved them, it saved me, whatever. And that was they depart, and she's out of the underworld now after these 2-story arc, 2-book arc.
It was great. It was great. It was a great issue.
It's a good
It
book.
was. Well, it's a 2 issue arc, so it's kind of like the Batman thing, right? They need to do something like this in the Batman book, and it needs to feel like this was a satisfying end. It was a 2 issue arc. It was satisfying. Was it as good as the first arc? No,
No.
but it was good for a 2 issue arc, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I loved the. I loved. God, Diana is such a problem.
I
She
mean, we keep
is.
saying it every book, man. She can't be stopped. She has the way out of everything.
Yeah. So, yeah, you talk about that reckoning. I really hope that happens. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I would
Um.
love to see.
So yeah. So, where are you at on this? 3.53. Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm just comparing book, like I said, The Flash is my favorite book of our hiatus, so I'll go 3.5. And I
All
did like
right.
the first, or I like the first book better of these two.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like the backstory on the lasso. The what she had to do
Right.
for that lasso to be what it was, and how she had to understand, like, hey, there's sacrifice for using this lasso, but it's worthy, like stuff like that. Like I love that, and yeah, it was it's such a good book, man. They're all over it with this character, and this has been a great series. So yeah, I give it a 4. All my books are 4s this week. They were all great. And 4.5 or 5 has got to really get up there. It was none of these were absolute Superman number 6. Um, but it's got to get up there. But still really, really good books, and I am super, super, super happy with it. So yeah, anything else from you on this one?
No, I'm excited to see what's next.
Yeah, we got no
Went back.
idea.
Yeah,
They didn't
nothing.
even hint at anything.
No.
There was a little fun little Diana story at the end of this one as well. You got to see her hanging out with all of her animal friends from the underworld. I hope we see more of them because they are very hilarious.
Yeah, it continued like the last book had, where she went and saved
Right.
it, and then now she's bringing it home.
Yeah, it's great. And she has a whole house full of creatures. So, and the only one you see that you've seen now is Pegasus. And,
Yeah.
Pegasus is it's kind of weird though, because I don't know if it's canon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because she didn't get Pegasus until she was an adult and went to Big Boy up on the mountain. He's all
Right.
chained up. So
She's like a Pokemon catcher. She
she
just
kind of is. She kind of is.
don't put
Yeah,
them in the Pokeballs.
that's right. Well, that's it. Let's talk about the release schedule, and I have a couple of cool ones here, cool covers up here right now. This is the cover C for Absolute Superman number 8 coming out on June 4th, and we have the cover A for Absolute Flash number 3 with our little green, blue, teal guy right there. Dude, he looks like he's like teal with purple eyes, and any Charlotte Hornets fan has got to love this version of Grodd.
I hope his ankles will hold up.
Yeah, probably not. His ankles will probably hold up like our franchise has. That's neither here nor there. We are a battered fan base. But yeah, so let's start out. We got Absolute Superman #7, big book, turned into a big book. I don't think any of us thought we were going that direction that quickly, but it's turning into with everything that happened in issue 6. Issue 7 is like, oh my god, I got to get my hands on it, and you will because it comes out this week on May 7th. So that is the Wednesday release, along with Absolute Green Lantern #2, which means I am pulling double duty next week. Whoop whoop. So Absolute Green Lantern #2 also comes out on the 7th, and we'll get a little bit of a follow up to Hal Jordan just killing everybody. After that, we got Absolute Batman #8 on the 14th, and then the following week, Absolute Flash #3 on the 21st. Absolute Batman #8 on the 14th will be wrapping up the Absolute Zero storyline with Mr. Freeze. If you've seen our last episode, which at this point you haven't, because I don't know if we ever posted it yet. We're gonna post them all, but we did say that one was probably the weakest of the series so far. The issue #7 wasn't the best of the series so far. So, be interesting to see how they close that out. Hopefully, it's a little bit more oomph. I imagine we're gonna get some more Bane at the end of this issue. So excited about that. Absolute Flash #3 will come out on the 21st. Absolute Wonder Woman #8, we're going to get a new arc. We know that. Will come out on May 28th. Absolute Martian Manhunter #3 will come out on May 28th as well. So double duty for Phil again. And then finally, Absolute Superman #8, which is that beautiful cover C that we have here, will be out on June 4th. And sometime in that time span, we'll take Phil to his first pro wrestling event. And that will be a wonderful month of May. So that's basically all of May.
T-shirt to come in.
So yeah, so that's basically the month of May. What are you most looking forward to? Because up until now, it's been all Batman all day.
Yeah,
but
you know what?
these books are punching above their weight now.
They are. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see all of them. Like everything has something. I'm Martian Manhunter. I'm really excited to see how this thing grows. Just because it's so different than what all the other characters. They're different, but Martian Manhunter is so different than what it traditionally is. So I'm just excited to see what it is. So I might just put Martian Manhunter #1 right now.
Nice. I don't blame you. I think that would probably be my #2. Absolute Superman #7 is my #1 book on here. That's why I'm excited that it's coming out this week. We got to pick it up. We got to pick up from that crazy ending of #6. So excited about that, and we also will cover the Free Comic Book Day Absolute Special. I haven't read it yet. I just got it yesterday.
I haven't either.
So we will cover that. We're going to read it this week. We'll talk about it and see who's going to cover it. If it makes sense to cover it in addition to Absolute Superman #7, we will. But I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to deal with. I haven't read it yet, but I think it's going to deal with some Mirror Master stuff. So, we have a friend.
Lincoln, what are you doing?
What's up, buddy?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for checking. I'm almost done. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, but yeah, so we will cover that book next week. I just have not had a chance to read it, so looking forward to it though. And that's about all we got, man. That's all she wrote. We did it. We covered 3 books and no news. Oh yeah, about the news, there was nothing on the top 10, and nothing on the runner-up list, and since we had a 3rd book this week, or a three, since we were making up time, we just decided to skip the news. So any news that we need to cover, we will cover on the next.
The last 2 weeks, I've had at least 6 books on the top 20.
You have?
Yeah.
Wow. I have not.
There's been books that made me mad. So that Super Girl variant cover, that was a book I was gonna get, but Comic Shop didn't have it, and then the Wolverine variant, they didn't have that either.
Yeah.
If they had it, I'd have it.
Same. I really wanted both of those, and now it feels like I've missed the boat, and that's pretty frustrating.
I have to order them before. I don't know. I'm used to traditional. I show up to my shop when it opens. I get my books. This whole ordering somewhere else to get a book is ridiculous.
You're gonna have to start FOC, and I got some places. We'll
you let me know.
We'll get you.
I'm mad I missed those 2 because not even because they're in the top 20 because I really want them. But hey, my girl Darth Talon, she's coming.
Yeah.
Those legacy books, I had those.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, Twi'leks. I'm all in. So I had those on the top 20, and then That Darth Maul cover. I have that book, but I have the variant cover. That's the one I got signed, where he's wearing the cloak, whatever. But
Oh, right.
I almost bought that book, and it was nowhere near the prices they are now. When I was picking
I,
between the two books to get
I
signed,
remember you sending those to me. Yeah, I remember you sending those to
should have
me.
bought both. Maybe I did. I don't think I did. I had to look.
Spawn number 1, so you've got that one. You've got
Yeah.
Helverine. You've got
Spawn 9.
Spawn 9. Everybody's got Spawn 9.
That's fine. I paid $30 for mine. That's graded. 9.6. I paid $30 for it.
Wow.
Give me that.
I got mine for $8, and it's probably a 9.6 or a 9.8, but it's not graded.
I have another one not graded, but it's not as clean as it.
That Mark Spears monster truck is still just hanging out up there.
Yeah.
So that Green Lantern monster truck. Speaking of that, Mark Spears has a new Green Lantern variant coming out, and this will be the last thing. I won't keep you forever.
This is the first time I've seen a Mark Spears book in my store.
Really?
Yes, I've never been in there.
That's
why I haven't gotten any
so
of them.
many of those things at my local shop, which usually doesn't have a ton.
Never has. It's the first time. So I got mine.
Yeah, it was. Where is FOC? They dropped the FOC already. They dropped it this morning. Left Arrows did. If you're not following him, follow him at Left Arrows. And LEFTEROS. And this one, yeah. Let me see if you can see it here.
Ooh.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, very cool. So really neat Mark Spears book. Some other good stuff. We get an art germ, Jeff the Land Shark, Storm number 9 with a really great cover and a first appearance of Hadad. For first full appearance of the Chairman 3K and X-Men number 17. We got a couple Conan stuff. You can actually get all that information at Left Arrow's Instagram. You can also find it on coverprice.com. And if you want to see somebody cover it and talk about it, especially specifically this one, I'll be on the weekly comic wrap up tonight at Sunday at 11 o'clock. So, or no, my God, not 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern. And we're going to be talking about comic books, and I'm going to be talking mad crap about the Montreal Canadiens. Because that's what I'm here to do, I guess. I guess I'm just here to talk trash now. But anyway, so that's what I got going on. You got anything going on? You got some streams coming up this week, probably?
Yeah, we'll get some more Star Wars streams in. Can I get this Palpatine? That's about
Heard
it.
that. I'm gonna
3 weeks left of school.
I'm going to keep playing Oblivion, and I'm probably going to start on Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. And it looks amazing. So if you haven't looked that up, you should look it up. It looks crazy. Yeah, that's about it. I'm waiting on June, man. I'm waiting for Star Trek Strange New Worlds to come out.
You're waiting to play the new Mario Kart.
I am now. I wasn't. Now I am.
Thanks
to my guy here. So that's all I got coming up, man. Other than the fact that we're going to be going to WWE SmackDown in a little less than 2 weeks. So that's exciting. I'm excited for you. We got to see what happens on Backlash, because whatever happens at Backlash is going to directly affect it. First SmackDown after Backlash. So
my people just better be there.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. I'm so excited. All right. Well, so that's all we got. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We actually kept it to an hour, even though we had 3 books, but that's what happens when you cut the news. So on behalf of myself and Mr. Phil, I hope you all have an awesome week and an awesome weekend, and we will catch you again next week. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us on the local comic podcast. This is The Absolute Show. Peace out.
Later.